Let's fight. John Jones. Let's fight. Bantu King. Let's fight, folks. Good to have each and every one of you joining us. Good to have each and every one of you joining us, folks, wherever you're joining us from across social media. We are happy. We are delighted that you are here. Good. Let us know to all the technicians who are listening, all the technicians on duty. Let us know if you're hearing us loud and clear tonight. We're fired up, folks, and we're ready to go. Julian Mars, we trust that you are as well. Debbie Collins, Stacey Ann Stoll. Good to have you. Everett Small, Andy Williams, Onessa Wardine. Great to have each and every one of you on the live tonight. Orvin Don Cook, Roxy McKinnon, Roxana Dessa Jacobs. Good to have you, Barbara Ralph and Shirley Juicy Tendry. Diane Greg Zandy. Laverne Wade, technician Laverne Wade says loud and clear, hearing us from Babis, West Coast. Babis, loud and clear. We are delighted to have each and every one of you guys. We're fired up. We're ready to go, and we trust that you wonderful, beautiful folks, you guys are as well fired up and ready to go. Good to have you, Wilfred McCarty, Roxana Dessa Jacobs, Sandra Chisholm, we see you there. Mavis Davis, well, am I calling it correctly, Chisholm? Good to have you, Brenda Braffett, Elderly and Stacey Ann, Charles, and I see Anne-Marie Lennox and Michael Tim. Good to have each and every one of you guys. We're fired up. We're ready to go, and we trust that you guys are as well. We are delighted to have each and every one of you here. Dennis London Welchman, Brian Lindy, Stacey Ann Stoll, Susan Jacobs, Leon Blair, all the good, fantastic folks that we love to have around. Guys, we hope that you guys have had an awesome day. You fired up and you are ready to go. Charlotte Blackman, we see you as well. The folks says loud and clear. And if you all say so, Derek David, we believe it is so. Pace and power, share the damn live, smash that emoji button. Our students and teachers are being attacked. And that must not be condoned at all. We're going to be talking a little bit about that. You're going to want to stay tuned. You're going to want to strap in. Stay tuned, folks. You're going to want to strap yourselves in. Yep. And then when you think you got it bad, folks, I want you all to know, you always got some folks got it worse than us. But we must look out for them. We must look out for them. I don't want to hear about this big GDP and all the economic growth that we're going to have if it's not being felt on the ground among the people who need it most. This country is not just for 1%. It is for all of us. All of us. Fight us. Fight us. If you don't believe it is so, fight we. God damn it. Share the live. Smash the emoji button. We're fired up. We're ready to go, and we trust that you guys are as well fired up and ready to go. We got the fight card set, as you can see, folks. We got the fight card set, and as you know, if you've been in view of our program, you know we get our housekeeping out of the way. We get it out of the way. So we want you guys to know, if you're looking for a good expert Commissioner of Works, affidavit, and a justice of the peace, look no further. You can take off your glasses. Get all the answers you need, folks, at the Alistair Collins Forum. As a Commissioner of Works, affidavits, and a justice of the peace, he provides expert guidance, himself and team. Expert guidance and support for all your documentation needs. I used him just last week. They are open Monday through Saturday at the Callion Mall. They are on Lamaha Street between Camp and Waterloo Streets. 649-6410, 685-6448. Folks, we want to encourage you to help us to keep moving forward with pace and power at our own end, folks. And this is how you can do that. Partner with us. Partner with we, no man. Oh, shucks. We're available via Cash App, Zelle, PayPal, MMG, MoneyGram, and Western Union, folks. And this is how we keep our programs going. We ain't buying fancy car. We ain't building big house. But because of your love and your generosity, we are able to keep the programs going. Pace and power, bringing you guys valid, credible information, valid, credible information, folks. We all know we need extra. I was born in June. So you better know, we little extra. Yeah, that's how we do it. We're fired up and we're ready to go, good folks. And we trust that you guys are as well. I was born in June. As I can say, though, that's my sign, Basil. Aaron Abrams, John Jones, Sheena, John McDonald, Basil Clark. Yeah, yes, I can, sir. We're loving people. Loving and gentle. Yes. My wife don't believe it, but it's true. We're loving people. We are a peace-loving people. Yeah. I try to balance out myself with a peace-loving nature. That's why I marry a girl from Bobis. Yeah, from 28 to, so there's problems. You know it's trouble. Yeah, she lives in Newville most of her life, but she claimed, I'm from 28. Don't get tired up. Yeah, I try to balance, you see. Balance is important. Is important. Brenda Bradford, Susan Jacobs, Paul Bourne. Good to see Paul and all the other folks like I see Roxanne and Glenn Ford, Winella Garnett, Wendy Stevens, Carol Hudson. Good to have you, even Facebook user. We say there, folks. We see there. Folks, we are ready to get into the fight card. We got a couple of things prepped and waiting. Kamala Prasad, sister, I'll give you all a line from Kamala tonight. I'll give you all a line. Folks, we got to educate each other, you know. We have to educate each other. If we come on this live every night and we learn nothing new, who's we? Carol, Stacey Ann, Audrey Stephen, Lynn Fernand, who's we? Shanette and Diane Graves Andy, Robin, Commissioner Cole, place and power. If we come and we learn nothing new, who's we? We will learn a line tonight from Shakespeare, courtesy of Trinidadian former Prime Minister Kamala Prasad Bisesa. Yeah, fires of the PPP. They're up there with the EPA. The EPA, I feel, is a department of ExxonMobil. How they're acting. Folks, these are some of the things we're going to touch on. If you're new to the program, welcome. We will extra run these parts. We elevated down to the top floor every day. Right? Every day we meet to the top floor. And on Tuesday in particular, we don't fight on Tuesdays. Folks had to look up on the calendar. I had to look up at the calendar. Yeah, see, as one advances in age. Chicken problems. We got some chicken problems. We're going to be following that, folks. And Trump, the man who is going to bring this historic indictment against Trump. That's the fellow you're seeing there, bottom right. Bottom right. I'm going to introduce you all to him. I'm going to, you notice he? You don't notice him? Well, I will introduce you, folks. I will introduce you all. Please and thank you. Please and thank you. I will introduce you all. Right? So you don't have to feel left out. You don't have to feel left out at all. Folks, if you know the program, where are we going from here? Let me see if you all know the program. You all understand the structure. There's method to the madness, you know. The elevator might meet the top floor, but I got method to it. Who knows where we go from here? From this point, Camille Cox. Camille, we can talk. Camille, we can talk. My apologies, Camille. Respect and manners. My apologies. I'm apologizing publicly, Camille. My apologies. And you know why. We can talk. Paul Anjo, good to see you. Haven't heard from Paul in a little bit. I trust you are good, Paul. Camille and Shanette, Blackman, Valmir Wilson, Stacey and Stoll. Stacey and Stoll. You see story here? I see one of them see this handsome black fella. You know, on the Trump indictment. She said, we want to hear Trump first. Stacey Ann. You see how some of y'all stay? You see a handsome black fella. You want to skip classes. You want to go to the end of the book. You take the grant. You see how Stacey Ann Stoll say Trump story first. Hope you're able. Sheila Boy Child, thank you for that contribution. Live on YouTube. He's made a contribution to our program that's going to keep us going. Roxy Daly and all the other folks. Camille Cox, Valmir Wilson, Petula Boys, Mabel Shots. Good to have each and every one of you folks. When you think you got things bad, you always got folks got things worse than you. Whenever you think you got things bad, there are always folks who got it worse. Don't be judgmental. Don't be judgmental, folks. Some people got it bad. Bad. Here I tell you, That's why I don't care with all this oil and the GDP and how big it is and 55%. Again, if the man at the bottom, which is most of us, catch you with tail, what are going to do to we? You can hear 30 more oil discovery, and every Guyanese would know your life is not going to be made any better. Isn't that what the Jamaican economists told us? The resource class? But some of them vexed, but it's the truth. And the truth hurts. Folks, I want to introduce you to a woman named Shanice Mohammed, who got rough and tough. Yep, and she needs help. She needs help. Folks, if you could help her, help her. If you could help her, help her. I always tell people, you ain't can me. What I do for everybody, publicly or quietly, is unto Jesus, is unto the Lord. And if you think you can me with a fancy story, that's your business. I do my part and I Ghana and I forget about you. I forget about you. You have answer for yourself. Every man, the good book tells us, on this biblical Tuesday night, must give an account for his own life. So me worry about you. I said, Father, I have done what you sent me to do, hoping that in the final analysis, the final conclusion, the whole matter, he will say, well done, my good and faithful servant. Hear this story from Shanice Mohammed. She fallen in some hard times, seemed to have a hard life, folks, and is asking for help. That's the opener tonight. We take you to canal number 2. Here's her story.
Since my husband passed away, I try to get through. I got all my house paper, trying to get through with my land. Everything I have to prove. Come, when my husband passed away, I had nowhere to stay. I'm battling on my own, find a job, combine my 3 kids. Then I take somebody else and I get a 6-year-old one was sitting right here named Joshua Matura. I'm punishing and my maturing and today, like today, I can't get through. I rent a place for $30,000, trying to make ends meet. I walk the road and I sell greens, everything, just to make ends meet for patients, rent, do everything inside the home. She come the other day and she telling me that, oh, you gotta move out from here. I tell she can't move all of a sudden. So Satina, my son gotta go to school. How he gonna get he belong? She said, oh, she gonna put padlock on the door and I can't get nothing from the house. I said, how you gonna do it? I said, every mark inside his house is where my husband dead and left me with. I said, I lose my daughter. I said, you still come and reach your house clean. Everything. She checked the whole place. She see everything was in order. I pick up all my mat. I start pick up all my blind and every single thing from the home. She tell me she come yesterday with police. She tell me she give me 3 days to move out. Like what part me gonna put me head for what right now? Hard. The only way I could do right now is just rest me take my friend house, but I can do it he and my other 2. Not mine are big. My daughter's 20-year-old. The other one is 18. He's the last one. And just how I feel for them, I feel for myself because we're parting on them. I study in them. I study what part of the rest ahead, what part I can eat, what part I can think about themselves. They think less about me. I punish them hard and soft as can survive for benefit from my husband used to have GRA. And everything cut out from the 3 there. One passed away and she needs a family who are grieved. My husband passed away, just me alone. You pick somebody, just she please sit around on the table. No, sorry. It's hard.
So this is your landlord who's threatening to put you out?
Yeah.
And the landlord has given you 3 days to move.
Yeah. I try I take off all my plane, I pick up all my mother inside the room. I try and just solve me one problem. I mean, me got money for problem. I just want somewhere that I could rest me head on. Me want go by nobody place. Me going go by people place advantages take you and I don't want it. I don't want it. I just bear it because she said she has 7 week old baby and she needs a place. Well, she thing is downstairs, she clean up, she back some. Since she come here, so the police and all them thing me got money. Yesterday when the police come, they reach me cocaine. They ask me for the station. I say I can't go to the station. I say cocaine.
And what did the police say?
The police said, okay, ma'am. Good. Done is done. Then see the stove went and they said, okay, all right. Left it like that. I said, I don't have money for go anywhere. If me reach at the station, how I reach him back? I don't have money. I don't have a $20 in my name. Because how me want to sell greens also. Want to sell greens, me sell just so I must put up money. And take all my receipt. She just ask me just to flash the receipt for she see it. She got your data.
So you're saying the landlord left with your receipts?
Yes. Yes. Indeed, she take all the receipt.
And how she ended up with the receipts?
She asked me, she means that she just want to flash it. Flash it when Barbados and she come back. She asked me, she means she just want to see the receipt for the last payment that I pay. When I give she the receipt, she hold on to the receipt and she never give me. She tell me, "Ah, you have to go to the station." So me gotta go to the station because me don't fight Barbie anymore. So if you don't take it. But I can move simple. And if I gotta go on the road, it's done. She said she means she tell me that you got a lullaby. I said you don't thinking I got a lullaby and every single thing I be this year I don't do every single thing. She got it downstairs like down. She moved what she think that downstairs there. She got everything like down. I just gotta stay clean. All I just single parents. I struggling just to make ends meet. They got light bill, I water bill, I rent. You know, easy. It's hard. I punish my mature them. I lost my husband. I think he father go away and left me. And it's not easy. Not easy task of this life.
Ma'am, I'm certain members of the public are going to be looking at this. What are you asking the public for?
I just
Anything?
want somewhere to stay. Just somewhere to stay until I can get put me on. Because if I got all my people that woman put in for your house and since I'm going to housing was still 2022 I got all my people in. I don't know what I can get through. My husband passed away. I'm gonna change over every single thing.
You lost a husband and a daughter.
Yeah. I got them dead together every single thing.
If persons want to make contact with you via phone, how do you do that? The number is 642-6433. 642-6433. So you want a place to stay.
Okay. I don't have no way from God. I don't have me son that I mean to for punish. It's hard. I just trying to make ends meet. I don't lose one, I lose my husband. And it's hard. No,
How did you lose your husband and your daughter, if you don't mind me asking?
he stopped me up early stroke. When I had on my neck, had on my breast, and it went, it got used to.
Domestic violence.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And he went on a temp murder charge and he ended up drinking poison carbon tablet.
Hmm.
He ended up drinking that.
And after that, me had no way for stay.
You don't come away from interviews like that untouched by people and the human condition. You just don't. And when you listen to her story of how she has been through the vagaries and vicissitudes of life, you thank God for the little that you have. You know, politics, or rather poverty, shouldn't be political. And so I'm asking, I know government people watch this program, and there are people who watch it on their behalf and they write reports and, write a report for that lady. I went, saw where she lives, everything done pack up. She got to go 3 days to move, watching her little son there, and I wondered, what does he make of the world? Right? Something she said to me frightened me. And I said to her, no, don't. She said, sometimes I just feel like drinking poison and ending it all. That's how her husband died. Did you hear that? That's how her husband died. Abused her, stabbed her up. She showed me all of the articles out of Kaito News that carried her story. She has had a hard life. I wanted to direct her to the office of Men on a Mission, but they got the office, so I couldn't. I wanted to give her a form where she could pull up. She can get a house from those guys who are trying to do good out there, but I knows where they keep the forms. We are a filthy rich country, and yet people barely getting by. She showed me all the documents, survivors, benefits, and all. All the children are off. Can you imagine using a passage to come from Canal number 2 to Georgetown to look into some NIS issues? Could you imagine that? That's happening right in our country. Each and every day. Each and every day. We call their number. I can share it with you all privately if you missed it. If you can help her, help her. Help her. Don't think about nobody pulling a scam or anything like that. I am encouraged by that good book that I read. The master of my life and my faith. He said, if you do it to the least of them, you did it to me also. If you could help that. That's the opener, folks. Before I start preaching to y'all now. That is the opener. That is the opener. Good, folks. Moving on to fight cards. Pick it up from around the world, folks. Here's some of what we're following. Here is some of what we're following. I don't know if you're all old enough. I know a lot of young people watch us. I don't know if you all are old enough to know this face. Martina Navratilova was the Serena Williams of her day when it comes to tennis. And she was diagnosed a little while ago with cancer. She declared today that she is cancer-free. She said she didn't know she would live to see another Christmas. You think sickness and poverty care if you're rich or you're poor? When they say coming, they're coming. It's coming. You think sickness care if she was the best tennis star in her day? Huh? You think it care? She said she didn't know if she would have lived to see another Christmas. And today she declared that she is cancer-free. Quote unquote, cancer-free. We're happy for her. For every day extra she has to be with her family and to be with this world, we're happy for her. More power to you, Martina. More power to you. That's one of the things we're tracking, folks, internationally. Look what else we're looking at. The folks saying the sanctions on Russia now biting. It's now biting, but the folks are saying equally, it's not enough. It's not enough, and the West and its allies, Karashi Buffett, Ibn Rami, Andrew Alexander, Got to do more, Rosetta Barton. The West has got to do more. The folks are looking at it, studying it, and they're saying these sanctions they've inflicted on Russia, it seems to be hurting now. Maybe that is why China is stepping in, because China know they can't carry Russia by themselves. At least their stores get depleted. So we're looking at a peace plan. And you know, back channels are telling us, let me say that in my Professor Shamir Ali voice. The back channels are telling us, you know, there might be a meeting quite soon between the Chinese president and the president of Ukraine. President Zelensky might meet Xi Jinping. Quite recently, we are following those developments, folks. We are following them. Moving on the fight card, folks. Moving on. Let's some other stuff we're following, good folks. Alvin Bragg is the New York prosecutor who they're telling us could bring this historic indictment against Trump. It didn't go down today. It did not go down today. But I'd say that, you know, reservedly, because the night is still young. The night is still young. And if the American government, like the PPP, you know they're coming in the dark at night. Them boys don't like coming daylight. It's the vampires, you know. They don't like coming daylight. The PPP are talking about. If the Americans are anything like them, it's all now. Them boys must be gearing up. All no, it didn't go down earlier. Let me put it that way. It didn't go down earlier, but the night is still young. Anita Alkins, Oswin Chapin, Dennis, and Diane, Carmen Bailey, and Rita Cummins, they ain't go down yet. But the night is still young. Alvin Briggs, I trust still be happy now. This is the fella who is, I think he can do it. I think you know what Alvin saying? Alvin probably saying, what would Trump do? What would Trump do? Trump would bring the damn indictment. Do you think, Alvin? Come on. Content creators like us need content. Bring the damn indictment. Yeah. Tip it over. Trump playing the match. Show him who you is. Show him who you is. He playing the mad. Bring the indictment. Carl Williams. How many of you feel the indictment should come? I want to see the indictment. Van Slice, Avril, Squires Paul, bring the indictment. I want to bring it. Clive Jackson, Rolinda Jordan, bring it. Don't bluff him. He'd never take you seriously again. Bring the indictment. Let the chips fall where they may. How are we going to treat you? If you do things he deserve to be in handcuff, like actually put in handcuff. Put him. Trump was a disruptor, and you got to match him toe to toe. Nonsense. Bring the indictment. Alson Cortez. Glenford Gordon said tomorrow. Glenford, like he got the back channels too. Glenford said tomorrow. Chen Sing Henry says lock him up. That's why he said too. Lock him up. Yeah, respect the manners. NY prosecutor, New York prosecutor, Alvin Bragg. He's going to bring it. I have every confidence. Don't let me down, you know, Alvin. Don't let me down. We're picking up some stuff from around the region, I tell you. I left you with a line from Kamla. Kamla taking last, you know. Kamla taking last. You know, we say, here, we're walking up with poison. Kamla walking up, she poison. I'm going to leave a line with y'all. We can educate y'all tonight. Me and Kamla. We will educate y'all. Look some of you following folks. Y'all don't tell me. This should have been with international news. That had a nationwide sweep for CARICOM nationals who illegal. Caribbean nationals, that is. Caribbean nationals who hiding. Folks, if you go down the road and you see some people you will see for a long time who went up north. If you passing down by border, you're going down Regent Street or your main street like I was earlier today. You see? And you see some folks, they say, as we do it all, it's for this hot weather. You know what happening? You know what is happening, good folks? They said there was a nationwide sweep. Nationwide sweep. Right? and netted some folks. So some folks might some folks might be on the way back. For all you know, might be on the way back. The United States Immigration and Customs Enforcement ICE agency says officers from its enforcement and removal operations, the ERO, not the GRO, the ERO, have apprehended Caribbean nationals among 220 removable non-citizens during a nationwide enforcement effort. Yep, 220 plus. 220 plus. That's what immigration says. So, again, folks, if you there, then suddenly you spot people Shelley Oxford, Joy Dodson, Sporily, Rowena Cummins, you spot some people, you'll see a little bit. You know what's going down. You know what's up? Leslie Thompson, yeah. Just in case. You say, you come back here. You come back. Yeah. Look, while my big son was going to school, was going to a political school, met a woman in the office. When the woman was talking loud, I wasn't eavesdropping. She talking loud. She rolling she chair at the school. She said, we're not living here. We'll be here for the next four years. So I'm enrolling them back to school. I said, folks, give me mine. I said, lady, you live in it. Humble Tate. You know your accent. Humble Tate. You live in it. Oh, we are not we are living here. And that's the British. What was the American version? We're not living here. Yeah. I'm just enrolling them. We're going to be here for a few years. You're living here, lady. This is your habitual residence. Calm down yourself. Candy, Linda, Jit. Annalisa. Anita. You're living here. You're living. So you see some folks, flitting about the place from up north. I said, I'm just here for a couple months. Oh, you move back. It's move back, you move back. Just like that. ICE, gone a couple of them, 210. 210 good folks gone with ICE. Come on. Now, we're in Jamaica. Jamaica folks, in Jamaica, the government made them a wage offer, and they're telling us, the finance minister, 95% of them accepted. Don't come wrong with Jamaicans funny. 95% of public sector workers have indicated their acceptance of the government's offer under what they're calling a restructured public sector compensation regime. Yeah. In increased pay. Right? This includes, they tell us, rank and file members of the Jamaica Constabulary. This is the joint services. And this is what Dr. Nigel Clark, finance minister, said today. Yep, he said the government has now reached agreements with several other unions, bargaining groups, and staff association. That's some foreign. Here is why. Here's why that's some foreign. Because we don't believe in collective bargaining. Them unions is that getting dust on the shelf. We don't believe in that. The government unilaterally increases wages and salaries. And it's a problem that governments have been struggling with. These unions, they exist for purpose. They exist for a reason. Come on, folks. Don't let the Jamaicans put us to shame. We got to go back to collective bargaining. We got to go back there. Yep. 95% of the public sector workers have accepted. Well, look, story here. You remember your boy? Prime Minister of the Bahamas, Phillips Davis. Yeah. Remember, this is the fellow who said he didn't reach with Norton as chairman, but they had a brief meeting. So he stuck up the chairmanship and put it on back. The current chairman of CARICOM. Well, we understand why. We understand why. And he took the former prime minister there in Antigua to inform us. Hubert Manis, the former Prime Minister of Barbados, of the Bahamas rather, he said Philip weak. Philip need to have control over your own cabinet. They got a big issue there with a cruise ship a cruise liner. A big issue. And one of his ministers came out with a minority report on this issue. And that is what the former Prime Minister Hubert Melis Pongston, he said, look at you. Look at you trench crabbo. That's what he said. Look at you jagabat. You have your control over your own cabinet. You see, you can't even rein in your own people. At first he came out, he said that they reached an agreement with this cruise liner, whatever is the issue on the ground there. And then he came back out and said, hold on. We have to park that. We haven't really reached an agreement as yet. You see, this reminds me so much of your fun. You remember with them licenses for the quarantine fishermen? He said, yes, some talking like good. We good like that man, pong. Oops. And then he come back later and say, hold on. We didn't really get to an agreement. Same thing on the ground with Davis. Minister Davis weak. Philip Davis, he weak. Well, after his recent utterances, like I'm going to tend to believe Robert. A little bit on this one. Who bets lose? Shout out to all the folks watching us from the Bahamas. You can perhaps tell us more. Facebook user Camille Cox, Marsha Glasgow, good to see you. Philip Week. Yeah. You can tell me twice. You don't have to tell us twice. We in Trinidad now? Are we? Well, Cameron didn't go to the presidential sphere, didn't go. PNM is in power. The People's National Movement in power. They got the majority. And so they picked a candidate as the 7th president of Trinidad and Tobago. Former Prime Minister Kamala Persad-Bissessar, who heads the opposition as the opposition leader. She didn't turn up. And they mistake the bet. Somebody push a mic in Kamala's face and said, why you don't go? Why you went this training? Right? Here what Kamala said. Kamala won't end up in a problem. She ain't have to shake people's hand all day. She just didn't turn up. Here what Kamala says. Kamala was quoting Shakespeare. Kamala says, let none presume to wear an undeserved dignity. That's one thing. Like, we could finish the program there. And you will get your money's worth. Oh yes, it's a free program. We can finish the program there. And you can be contented. Let none presume to wear an undeserved dignity. You know, Kamala, me follow. I used to like us Prime Minister. She fire set of ministers. Soon as they sneeze, you're gone. Kamala, they're saying there, if you follow Trinidadian politics, Kamala's anti-president right now. Let none presume to wear an undeserved dignity. I don't know if it's she presidential talking about or we own. Let none presume to wear an undeserved dignity. And she was quoting Shakespeare. The lady was quoting Shakespeare. Right? But let me believe, not really she president, like she watched it for you. Let none presume to wear an undeserved dignity. Yep. Pace and power. Moving forward, good folks. 2592, well, folks, it's trouble. It's trouble. Let none presume, Karen Haley, to wear an undeserved dignity. Susan Jacob, I left you on the line tonight. When you turn up, Norton, throw in the chest. Let none presume. Changing Henry says change your feelings. I love the line. Nonetheless. I love it. Get on the road, Kamala. Friends of the PPP just today, folks. Kanji Krishna Bisundayal, a 56-year-old Albion sugar worker, lost his house. Fires on the PPP. Any day can strike. Every day there's a fire somewhere. Cars go up in flames. Houses go up in flames. Even an L law office almost went up in flames quite recently. Yep. Thoughts and prayers go out to Mr. Bisundayal, Krishna Bisundayal. He's a sugar worker. House went up in flames. This Guyana we live in. If they didn't have a fire, that would have been a spectacular report. No fires today. Breaking news. No fires today. Folks, for a small country like we are, it's slow fire, more fire. A small country like ours, Breaking news, no fire today. No fire. Yeah, that would be something. That would be something. Moving on, folks. Moving. Nice time. Nice time. I'm telling you all, things are tight in this country. Things so tight. Every housewife, well, not every. A lot of them, based on the news we're seeing, is cocaine, is marijuana, is gun. Is where it coming from? Where is it coming from? You know them by telling me now? Imported cannabis. Imported ganja. Yeah. $5 million worth. They found in a vehicle at charity. It's where this thing coming from every day. Just like the fires of the PPP, people lighting up the chalice. Lighting up the chalice. $5 million worth in cannabis. Oh, and where to find it? Where to find it? Tiger Bay? Oh, but I said, no, charity. People smoking away the problems. You see? Trying to get in touch and closer with the Most High in charity. And that's where we see it. Folks, we could plot. We could show you. We could show you since the new year started. It's Region 6 tapping with cannabis, marijuana, ganja. Region 6. Farmer, this body, that. Yeah. Lots of other places as well as a housewife. And they proclaim boldly. I'm trying to make a little fine change. Trying to make a little fine change. You know, things tight. Try to make a little fine change. Yeah. Imported, we got some big. Oh, them boys want burn down our fields. If you continue to burn down the herbs, we can import. We are going to import. Them boys importing. Look what else we're following, good folks. Look what else we're following in the 592. Look what else we are following, good folks, in the 5 of the 9 of the 2. Yeah. So they're smuggling cannabis. Folks, things are tight. Them boys smuggling chicken now. More chicken. You remember the ambulance with the chicken from the region? Which region was it? Which region had the ambulance smuggling the chicken? You remember the X-Trail with the marijuana, with the ganja, with the cannabis? Which region was this, man? You're telling me. Which region? Yep. The Poultry Producers Association came out and they're begging the government, literally begging the government. They said the borders porous. We know that. You all see how Venezuelans pouring in here? The borders porous. We understand. You took a walk along Regent Street. The only thing you're happy about is the future children in this country. How will be complexion and lift? Nice time. Nice time. We welcome the Venezuelans. However they come. We welcome them, however they come, you know. Our brothers and sisters having a hard time over there. If we can help, so be it. But we got to put the proper regulations in place. Yep. Well, the chicken's walking over the border now. The Guyana Poultry Association, Poultry Producers Association, they're begging. They say, put a foul pen somewhere around the border. Borders to the west, borders to the east. They say them chicken flocking over. I don't know the chicken following the Venezuelans or what, and the Brazilians or what, or the Sudanese, but they're coming. They're coming. And the folks who trying to raid the chickens here and sell it, getting a hard time. Because when you're smuggling chicken, you can undersell them. You're paying no taxes. You see that? So the folks have come out and they're begging, oh, catfish, help with the chicken now. Catfish, help us with the chicken. That's what we're following on that side, folks. Look what else we're tracking. Yeah. We buy them boys. The Jagabots, the Chanskapos, the Takpos, the Sadducees, and the Pharisees, the Hittites, the Philistines, we're following them, folks. The black belly sheep, the Brahman bull, the giant black chicken, we follow it. The whole animal farm, we following them. Look what we're following tonight. Look what we're following. Bradam! Just like that. Bradam! Pishai, Cushing, Lester Williams, we following. Look what we follow. Look story now. Yep, Jamaican economists. Say, I don't know where to go. We are going to a damn place. That's what the fella said. That is what he said. I'm lying. He said, you mark my words. You're not going away. That is what He said, this is a doctor, respectable economist in Jamaica, Dr. Damian King. He said, you mark my words. He told us in the Jamaica Observer, he said the oil revenues could cause corruption to increase. Mind you, he didn't say cause corruption. He said it could increase in the country and make it worse off than it was before accessing the oil well. That's what he said. He said it's worth bearing in mind. Very few countries in the world have grown from poverty to wealth, having done so on the basis of natural resources. Few, very few. He pointed to countries like Venezuela. He says a basket case. Nigeria. He says a joke. He says one of the reasons why there is such a thing called resource curse, why countries which have resources tend to do worst, is because not having resources forces a country to have governance. Oh, God is who tell you the story. Is who tell you, this thing tetanus, take up sweet. Who tell you? He said it forces them to have good governance, those who don't have the resources. Because that's the only way the government and the elite can extract wealth with good governance. For them to extract wealth, to run the government, they have to create a wealth-creating environment, he said. Using the resource-poor Singapore and Switzerland as examples of countries which have become wealthy through good governance. Well, you know them boys come out lashing. What you know? Them boys come out lashing. Dr. Damian King of Jamaica. The man is speaking as an academic. If you can speak counter that academically, go right ahead. Go right ahead. The true dirt, good governance, corruption. The man of his story, pace and power. Pace and power. We welcome Vietnam and the ambassador who presented her letters of credence at the office of the president quite recently. We welcome her. We can learn a lot of things from Vietnam, especially as an opposition. How you dig in and you were. You dig in and you were. Yep, you got to war. You got to fight. We can learn a lot from the Vietnamese. So I welcome the ambassador from Vietnam. Yeah. Let me show you how them boys were. This is a true story. A few years ago, they found a soldier, right, living on the ground in Vietnam. His clothes were tattered. His gun was old, right? And when they found him, he asked him a question. He said, who won? The war is over. Who won? The war is over. Decades, you know, that's how the man digging. That's how the man digging. And wasn't giving up. He didn't even know the Vietnamese war finished. And we can learn a lot from them. You're digging your heels against the enemy. We can learn a lot from them. We welcome the ambassador from Vietnam. True story. True story. We welcome her. We welcome her. But look story here now. Look story here now. The man who's getting back channels for me telling you these ID cards can be bought at half the price. Barbados did it. Roughly the same size population. And they got smart cards too. And they spend 35 million US. But you got to spend 35 million US when hands got to be greased. NASA? Yes. Professor Shamir Ali, our former ambassador to Kuwait, he wrote on this matter just today. He said, half the price we could source this thing from. But it's just like these guys, to get a kickback, jack up the price. You all remember when Sputnik was selling cheap on the market, we were paying double the price. Via the Sheikh Dalmud Al Maktoum. You all remember that? You all remember that? And then the man failed to deliver a whole batch that was sources from elsewhere. They like these shady deals. 35 million they're spending on these ID cards. And Professor Shamir Ali telling us we could procure these much cheaper. I believe him. Tell me what he's talking about. No, what he's talking about. The ERC folks, finally. The ERC, 32 months later, 32 months later, them boys not being sworn in the ERC. But I understand Avon strategy. I see it. I see it. I don't want to call it. I won't call it for what it is. Now when you install ERC now and these other organizations that should prevent or should give checks and balances in this country, you know, halfway through your term, the next administration is saddled with them. You think you understand what we're saying? The next administration will be saddled with their appointees. We recognize you. We recognize you. But it was good seeing the DPP's husband there getting on to this Ethnic Relations Commission. The Director of Public Prosecution. Husband has a seat at the table. Yep. Friends, family, and favorites. This is what it is. The truth hurts. Friends, family, and favorites. Yep. Today is the International Day. The International Day, folks. We are observing elimination of racial discrimination. International Day. And the leader of the opposition says we have to eradicate discrimination. He knows what he's talking about. He knows what he's speaking about. Together, folks, we can do it. Together, we can do it. And then the folks telling us how the EPA ain't listening. They're not listening. The citizens have now come out to appeal this decision of the EPA not to ask for an environmental impact assessment for the natural gas plant they putting at Wales. Something is wrong with that. These EIAs are there for a purpose to safeguard not only the environment, but the people, in this case, of this country. But all we see the EPA doing is waving. The EPA is now Department of ExxonMobil. The truth hurts. And I say to the citizens who are bringing this fight to them, stand strong. Dig in your heels. Like the Vietnamese. Dig in your heels against the enemy. Stand your ground. Stand your ground. Yep. Oh my God, to my Lord. Look what happened in here. What is going on in our schools? Teachers and students, they tell us, folks, were attacked today. Harmony Secondary School in Region 10 attacked just today. I wonder what the Ministry of Education is doing. You know, they launched a strategic plan about a year ago. I think everything that has happened since then is outside of the strategic plan. It means you got to go back. We have to go back to the drawing board. We must go back to the drawing board. There's a lot of foolishness happening. Too much foolishness happening. And now the closer. As we're talking about teachers in school and violence in school, last week we were at Fort Wellington Secondary where a teacher was assaulted. There was a relative and a student involved. We spoke to the mother of that student. You were here, Yvette Madu, Rhonda Gordon, Timna Ford, John Sullivan, Roxy McKinnon, Yvette Madu. Not so? Roxanne Garraway, Rosetta Barton, Diane Gibson. You were here when we spoke to her. And I know by now, lots of you have formed your own conclusions. Tonight, folks, I told you all, there's a principle in natural justice, so you got to hear the other side. Hear the other side. We spoke to the mother. We're about to talk to the teacher. Marlon Daniels, young man of the hills from number 28 village. So you know he got the stamina. He got the testicular fortitude. He got what it takes. We spoke to him on the very issue because we, folks, or like some people we know, we wanted to hear the other side. We wanted to hear the other side. Marlon Daniels, the teacher from Fort Wellington Secondary School, who was assaulted recently. This is Marlon in his own words. Take a look. The closer, folks, and take a listen.
Sir, welcome. And
Tell us why you wanted to get involved in teaching in the first place.
Okay, so that I will go back from the age of 11. I was staying with my aunt, who is now an HM at Nova Secondary. Um, well, growing up, I always wanted to be a mentor for the younger ones in my family. I've been there as a normal teacher, teaching them. Still, I was still in secondary school, going and coming, being a part of voluntary and also involuntary groups. I taught steel pan in my church. I taught drumming in my church. Then I ended up starting teaching steel pan in 42. That is a village called Seafield in Berbice. Also a number 8 secondary school. The HM can confess to that. Moving on to that, after I finished school, I then left to teach at a primary lesson that is Brasilio, the Club Association. That is a lesson located right in my village. I started teaching grade 1s, 2, and 3. Thereof, I then wanted to pursue training as a trained teacher at the Sierra Potter College of Education, which I am now in the college. I have noticed that teaching is something that I've kind of got to like because
you have a passion for teaching. It seems so.
I have a passion for teaching, and also, well, I would say my philosophy is to become a trained teacher, a teacher that looks out for students. I'm a person like that. If there's anything, the students at my school, they can confess to that. If they need anything, whether it's financially, anything they need, they can come out to me, they can reach out to me, they can say that. As for me, I find teaching as something that I love, and I don't find myself in any other career feeling comfortable, doing anything. I do what I love. Teaching is me.
Tell us about the day in question. What happened on that day in the classroom that, as we heard, perhaps led to the headmistress' office, and then what transpired outside of the school? Maybe if we have the sequence of events incorrectly, you may correct us. But talk to us about that day.
Okay, very well. So on that day, I was in my second form class, which is a grade 8 class. I was at the 5th and 6th period. I was doing revision with my students. So while doing it, I was amazed to the expletive that came from the enrolled mouth. I was talking to the students, telling them that, we have tests on Friday. Friday, go on there. And then I was like, why you don't shut the...
This is the student you had the altercation with.
Yes.
You're teaching a second form class, but he isn't in second form?
No, he's a 4th form student.
Mm-hmm. So how did you come into contact with him?
He was standing behind my class, he and 6 others. So
6 other students?
Yes. Mind you, at the time he had a teacher in his class. He didn't go to the class. Anyway, continuing, I then was like, am I friends with this person that said just not to shut the indecent?
Mm-hmm.
So I said, am I friends with this person? And he was like, why you don't carry your mother so and so?
Just like that?
Yes. And I said, you know what? Students stand. I then went through the students. They didn't see when I passed through the students. I went there. There was a ventilation hole there at my class there. I said, then Roy, and I called them by name because I know all of them. I know them by voice and I know them by name because when I first got to Fort Wellington there, I taught the class for 2 weeks.
How long have you been there?
I'm at Fort Wellington Sec there for, I would say, 4 months now.
4 months now.
Yes.
Have you had up to this point, have you had a similar experience with any of the students there?
Well, to be honest with you, the first week when I went there to teach the class, then Roy was one of them. They were doing an assignment. Mind you, the teacher was not in the country and she gave them an assignment. She was supposed to come back the week. So they were doing blood doping. So I have a little knowledge on blood doping because the college I'm doing PE as a major at college here. And I have a little knowledge on blood doping. So I sat there and I started to explain. What the students knowing me now, you know what, if sir is going to show us this, I'm going to think because I need the knowledge. A few of them gathered around me. It was a lot of them. He was the only person sitting at the back. while talking to them, he was the one, he was carrying on. But you know, my first week there, I don't know them by number, I didn't know my face or anything, I didn't know name. I left the class. I said, please excuse me, students. I left and I went to my DHM. My DHM spoke to him. She told him he can't be chewing the teeth and cussing and carrying on.
So he's in this class close to yours on that first occasion, and you
On the
hear
first occasion, he was in the set class.
in the same class, but he was at the back.
But he was at the back. He refused to come to gain knowledge. I don't know.
And but he was trying to be loud and so on.
Yes, trying to be loud, disturbing the others. But they were shouting at him, and he was, you know, cursing them. He wasn't talking to me.
The students who were with you.
Yes.
Great. So you're in the class a couple of days ago. Himself and some other colleagues, they're in an adjoining class, and they're hurling these remarks to you. He in particular.
What I would say is that he was, you know, talking and he was shouting. So a girl responded to him.
One of the students.
Yes, one of the students responded to him and said, "You can see sir showing me something." He said, "She shut up your mouth, your mother's." This child is.
So again, he was cursing.
That is the first week I was. That is in January. That was in January. So that came and finished. So I tried when my HOD, she was like, you need to go to that class there. They have your subject now. You have to go to them. I said, Miss, with all due respect, I will not be going back to the class.
This is in January.
Yes.
But on that particular point, to the best of your knowledge, do you know the school ever made contact with his parents concerning that incident?
No.
The school didn't make contact, or
the DHM, she dealt with it. She talked to him and she sent him back to his class, stating that he cannot disrespect students and teachers while the teachers in the class.
And you don't know the school ever made contact with his parents on that issue?
No, they didn't.
All right. So we come to last week, and as you said, he's in the adjoining class with his colleagues, and he in particular is hurling remarks towards you. Take us from there.
I then asked them to go to the HM's office. When I peep and I call him by name and by face because I know them, they ran into a next class, which is Fort Farm, but it's an arts. They're in the technical stream. I then went pretending as though I didn't see them go into the art stream. I went into the tech stream. I asked, because the teacher wasn't there, Miss Singh at the time. I said, Miss Singh, the students came in here because I talk loud so that they were the other class can hear. And one of them laughed. It was like, sorry, no, you're here. So I then went to the next class. I said, then Ryan, others, I need you at the office now. He was the first to come out. I'm not afraid of nobody. I'm afraid of nobody. I go into the office, nobody can do me anything.
School was in session?
He was in school, yes. He was the first to walk out of the class. He was the first to get to the office. The others were at the back begging me because they were not properly dressed for school. They had on different color socks. They had the wrong belt. Their shirt was too tight. The pants, they could have barely breathed. Anyway, so while they're begging me now, a senior teacher who is, I wouldn't call him by name. He then was like, sorry, man, you're sharing, man, you know, as a joke. I said, no. There are some students very well with their friend when he started using expletive in the school compound. So I said, okay, let them come. The HM dealt with them. She sent them back to their class. She said, then Roy, the same student that went home for his uncle, can you remain so that I can have a serious talk with you? While talking, the others walking back, he started mumbling. So HM was like, why are you mumbling? Do you have something to say? He was like, girl, something. He said, girl, something. So HM was like, then why are you talking to me? And he started rooting his mouth and he started mumbling, still grumbling and carrying. So, sir, the senior teacher, the same sir, he was there. He said, you can't be talking to the HM like that. And this time he started opening his mouth, being loud. Teachers started to come out of their classes. The HM said, then Roy, until you can speak to me properly, step outside and I'll call you inside back. So HM was asking me, so what are you planning on thinking? You going to go back to your class or are you going to sit down here with me? I said, HM, I will go back because I still have the students. I wouldn't make one student make bad for the others. I then sat there. HM called me back into the office. She talking to him again. He started to get angry. Instead of the HM getting angry because he calling her girl, he started to get more angry more than the HM. He cursed the HM, he cursed me, and also the senior teacher, the sir that was in there. He told me that I talks too much and I like to carry children to the office and my mouth got a bust and he's going home for his uncle. The HM said, well, if you go for your uncle, we have to discard the region. He tell the HM said you're gonna get somebody to deal with she too. The HM said, student, and he kept walking and he cussing and because while he's cussing, everybody's coming out of the classes, students, teachers, everybody getting out to come out. Everybody coming in the corridor, you walking and going out, says, I'm going for me, uncle, I don't think. So mind you, I still, I'm a teacher. I can't be cursing and doing those things. So I didn't follow up with him. I went to even I heard his mother talking about the scissors, or I had the scissors. Sir, we had a science project to finish. When they started cursing in my class, I was cutting out some little fishies to go into the pan for the science project. I wouldn't lie, yes, but I didn't threaten anybody.
So when you admitted that when you were in the office, you didn't have a scissors in your hand?
When I got into the office, the HM took it. So the HM took it and she said, I will keep this here just in case, any accident. Anyway.
So it wasn't your intent to be threatening with the scissors. That you had it in your hands while this whole episode started.
Yes. While he was jumping and trying to fight and all this, I didn't add the scissors or anything. I was just there standing, folding my hands. I was like, wow, what did I get myself into?
So you're at the HM's office. He is leaving, with all these threats, he's going for his uncle. Based on what you were saying, what happens next?
Oh, when he went and he said he's going for his uncle, I didn't think, because I'm a teacher, I'm an adult for him. I'm older than him, and I wouldn't let a student frighten me from my job, my personal job that I'm trying there to make something off of it. Mm-hmm. So I then went, because I still have a next grade 8 class, I have to do revision with them. I went to the next grade 8 class, I was teaching. The same senior teacher, he came to me, said, he saw the uncle making a sudden noise. He walked into the yard, saying, "Make a noise. Where the teacher there? You looking for the teacher?"
This was about what time?
That was about, well, the incident occurred because I was checking time. Mm-hmm. The incident occurred 12:32, and he came in with his uncle. That was like 12:35, 38 times, around that time. So it took like 6 minutes to go, because the uncle is not living far behind the school side, mm-hmm, to go and come back. So while in my class, I was peeping them. The uncle came there. He walked past my class. He was going to the next class. He looking for me still. So when I was told, when he went there and he...
So anybody can just come in the school and just...
To be honest, the security at the school there, it's like a Z. I wouldn't give them an A. From a scale of 1 to 10, it's a 3. I even told the HM about that.
I think you probably could be a little surprised by that anybody can just walk off the road and just come looking for students or teachers.
Exactly.
So the uncle is passing by.
The uncle passed by. He didn't see me in that class. He went to the other class and he looking. So when he went to the class, not too far from the HM office, because he had to pass. The HM called him. And she said, "Sir, why are you in school with this pants?" She didn't know he was the uncle at first. Mm-hmm. She was like, "Sir, why are you in this pants? Not dressed properly. There's a damaged jeans," because one of the pants was up and the other was down. This kind of gangster style of the guards, or whatever they call it. The HM said, "Sir, you're not properly dressed. What are you doing in the compound? Who let you in the gate?" He said, "He passed the guard." So she said, "But what are you doing here?" He said he came to see the teacher that sent his nephew home. Mind you, nobody sent him home. That child walked out of the compound even without a stamp. I said, Miss said to him, "Sir, you will have to leave. You have no important business to conduct with this teacher. You have no proper reason being here. You can leave now. Because if the region come in and they see you like this, they're going to quarrel on me."
This is the regional health officers. The regional education officers. Mm-hmm.
He left and he went home. I don't think he went directly home. Maybe he was still in a corner setting. But I have the end of term to finish with my students. So when I finished doing the revision now, I concluded my lesson. And I was going upstairs before going to the internet cafe. So while going, I have a friend at school, they're a teacher. She said, okay, as you're going over there to print your stuff, you can print my own at the set time. I said, okay. I walked over. I told the guard, I'm going over there. I'll be back.
School was still in session?
Yes, school was still in session. The guard said, okay. He said, the HM ordered that you lock the gate before. She said, no. I went to the internet cafe. I walked and I went over. I sat there for like an hour. The girl had finished printing my friend's stuff, and she was just about to hand me my stuff. My stuff was already in. She was going to staple it. When I was about to collect it, I felt somebody scramble my hands from the back. Both of my hands. Mind you, while I was in primary school, this hand had slipped out before while playing. So, it hurt a lot. But being a PE teacher, relaxing and doing a lot of exercises, you don't really think that much. But to a shock that somebody scrambling your hands, that is how it started thinking again. So I then sat there and I turned around. It was the uncle. I did nothing. The student walked in with the 4 other friends from the uncle. The uncle came back with his friends. I then
4 other friends of the uncle or 4 other students?
The uncle friends. They weren't students.
Okay.
Big men. Now they started punching me to my face, slapping me and kicking me to my stomach.
Right there by the internet cafe?
Yes, right at the internet cafe. The girl who was there, is a teacher you're doing like that? And she's screaming and they still. So I'm trying there now to wriggle out, but remind you the hand still thing. So I'm trying to wiggle. I'm trying still and they cuffing me. So I'm leaning to block my stomach because I don't want anybody to hit me in my stomach.
So like trying to protect yourself.
Yes, trying to protect my abdomen. While doing that now, I managed to wiggle out and I tried running. The uncle again scrambled me. The friend of the uncle, he picked up the scissors that was in the cafe there and she would use it to trim stuff. The said friends, he swung the scissors to my abdomen here. I kinched and the scissors stick into my college t-shirt. After thing, he thought the scissors bore me, so you run. I picked out the scissors, I pulled it out. He fell to the floor. I could have bore him or something,
In effect, he was trying to stab you.
Yes. I picked up the scissors from my clothes.
He ran and fell down.
And it fell, yes. I could have done something, but thinking as a teacher, you think twice. I pelted the scissors into a room that is right in the cafe there where the printer is located.
So this cafe was in the cafe or on the outside?
In the cafe. While walking, trying to come out of there now again, the uncle, he picked up the nephew, they came there with the old stuff, the steel, the sticks and everything that they came there with to beat me. Because he was prepared. The uncle was like, the nephew was like, it wasn't intentional and all of these things. But looking at it, we can all see it's intentional. While I was coming out, uncle again scrambled me. He kept pulling this hand because I kept saying this hand hurting all the time. By my hand hurting, I keep screaming, my hand hurting. He pulled his hand again. The nephew, he picked up the same steel that he came with. You can see the mark is still here. Where the bruises, one here. He hit me here. And to my back. Which areas I'm not going to expose because the news, I think one of the news page, they got photos of the lashes from my back also. I tried because the steel, so I fell, I got up, and I went back. There was a mop stick that was next to the door in the internet cafe. I picked up the mop stick. I won't lie, I picked up the mop stick, and I was like, don't come to me, I'm trying to defend myself. Y'all come to me, I'm going to lash one of y'all, I'm going to hit one of y'all. After doing that, I managed to think again because my face was all blood and all this, my mouth was burst. Still, you can see a few things still. I tried manage and I went into the school compound. Again, one of the teachers, she accompanied me upstairs because my back, I started feeling a lot of pain. She accompanied me upstairs and we went to the office. Mind you, before, when the student walked out of the office, that is early up in the day, the HM had called the station. They said that the patrol will be on its way. It will be there in 3 minutes time. We don't fight, don't worry about anything. It's gonna be okay. He assured us I would be okay. Again, when the incident happened, the teachers, they said, because I had a second GTU form, because the first one I destroyed, that is the one that I took and rubbed my face out, the clad off my face before the teachers took the photos, because my face was all more even air.
Was the student in question, was he part of the man who assaulted you?
Yes, he was one of them who threw the first punch. He was the one who took the steel and hit me and beat me to my back, also to my hand. While in the scuffle, they damaged one of my cell phone that is not coming on. It's there. I'm supposed to carry it back to the station to lodge, and the other one is here. That's why I told you I cannot come on a live thing to do any video broadcast because my front camera is not working. I can show you the back, it is coming on, but the front is not working. Anyway, while at the HM office, she called again. A male officer, he answered the phone. She said, sir, it has gone worse. The student and his uncle and his friends has assaulted the teacher.
What station was it?
At Fort Wellington. He laughed. He said the patrol is out. And
the policeman laughed?
Yeah, he laughed. What kind of children and parents beating out teacher again? And he laughed and he said the patrol is out.
We know by now that the uncle and another person were passed through the courts. They're on $15,000 bail each. Then they go back to court in May, something to that effect. And you've gone back to school since. What has that been like?
Well, to be honest with you, I'm not yet back in school. I'm on special leave. I was granted special leave by the CEO. The said day of the incident, was asked to stay home and relax, refresh myself to get back on track in school, because mind you, I'm still in college, studying, and it's going to be really hard on me. So on the court day, we were all disappointed in the magistrate. Everybody was, starting to get pissed, because how can you grant somebody $15,000 each for assaulting a teacher in his place of work, around students, tarnishing them, the parents out there, they're tarnishing the teacher's name to say that the teacher wrong and can't give a reason how the teacher wrong.
What do you want to see come out of this whole incident? You had this altercation with the student, his uncle, all of this stuff, and,
well, and
their family too.
If I might cut you here, for me, I don't think there's a school or anybody will be wanting to teach a student like that, or will be teaching a student like that. I don't want him back in the school system, because I don't want what happened to me to happen to any other person, or any colleague of mine. As of the uncle and friends, I want to make an example out of them, to set an example for me to be the last teacher that anybody ever go into any school or their workplace, the place of work, where it should be the second home for both students and teachers, to feel uncomfortable, unsafe, and unprotected. I really love teaching, and for this, I'm not going to run from career. People will be like, man, find some other thing to do, go soldier, go army, go somewhere else. I'm not running from my career. That's what I want them to know.
Sir, welcome. Didn't we promise you folks valid, credible information? That was the closer. Haven't we delivered, folks? Haven't we delivered? We deliver, and some of you don't even want to share the live. That being said, that's our time, folks, and that's our program. Share the damn live, smash that emoji button, folks, and partner with us as well. That's how we keep on bringing these programs to you. Valid, credible information. Now, if you don't get no information that's valid and credible, if you don't gather nothing from the program tonight, don't share. Don't send me the little freck. Throw a brick over your shoulder and hope it not we. But if you gather something from this program tonight, folks, share it down live, smash the emoji button, and let us go down the road. Partner with us.
Want to keep getting the best in the ring? Yes, you can help us to keep going by partnering with us through your contributions. And it's easy. Send us a daily, weekly, or monthly donation, whichever is most convenient to you. Cash App at $ in the ring 592, Zelle and PayPal in the ring 592 at gmail.com, or WhatsApp us on 627-6963 for how to contribute via MoneyGram and Western Union and for MMG payments.
That's the final bell for the night, folks. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for staying with us, each and every one of you. That's the time, good folks, and that's the program. Thanks for staying with us. Madao, Yvette Madu, Mary Mercia, Obi Chester, Share the Damn Life, Cecile. Thank you for sharing, Cecile. Hazelyn King and David Wood, Sheridan, Bob and Annette Cummins, John Sullivan, Bantu King, Sheila Boyd Child, Maureen Chester, Lillian Prince, or Lillian Price. Lillian Prince, good to have you. Faye Nicholson, Carol Brafford, great to have you. Betsy Freeze, Spurry Lee, and all the other folks, thanks for joining us. Before you go, folks, smash that emoji button for us. Before you go, you don't want to share the light, at least smash the emoji button. You don't want to smash the emoji button, at least share the light. You don't want to share the light, you don't want to smash the emoji button, at least partner with me. You don't want to partner with me, you don't want to share the light, you don't want to smash the emoji button. What do you want to do? What do you want to do? Folks, that's your time and that's our program. Stay safe out there. Stay safe, valid, credible information. Stay safe.